So today's Trust Life segment on June 22nd, which is today, she says, I take care of my inner child today. And I hadn't read this before I did my Qigong practice. And in my Qigong practice, the intention that I felt I needed to set was the intention to feel safe. Because there's so many things in the world right now that make it so that safety is not paramount in my feelings at the moment. She says, take care of your inner child. It is the child who is frightened. Yes, it is. What am I frightened of? And I can take stock of that myself, help myself to understand that. It is the child who is hurting. It is the child who does not know what to do. Be there for your child. Embrace it and love it and do whatever you can to take care of its needs. Be sure to let your child know that no matter what happens, you will always be there for it. You will never turn away or desert it. You will always love this child. So what does it mean to be there for it? What do we teach? What do we teach our children? What were we taught? We're taught to have nice emotions, to be nice to people. We're taught to respect our elders, to be quiet. We're not taught necessarily to embrace our feelings. What does it mean to be there for our inner child? I think in this moment, for me, it means to embrace the feeling of, yeah, I'm scared. I'm sad. I'm sad about the state of the world. I'm sad about what I see as a loss of freedoms in so many ways. Loss of our autonomy, and it's not getting any better. And so I'm afraid. I'm afraid for how I'll handle that. I'm afraid for the relationships. I'm afraid for the health of people around me. I'm afraid for my own mental stability sometimes. How do I handle that? How do I take care of, how do I be there for this little child in me that's afraid? For me, I reach into the higher power. Whatever you want to call that, I call him God, Jesus Christ. I trust, I study, I look at things from the past, look for the wisdom. But how do I handle that fear that pulsates in me, that contracts me? Today, I'm not sure. EFT, even though I'm just terrified about losing relationships, losing loved ones to death. I'm willing to trust that there is a plan that supports all of this, that these experiences, I hesitate to use the terms are for our own good because I don't believe that the God I believe in planned this. I believe that everybody's got their choice and that there were lots of choices made that precipitated where we are as a global world today. But I also choose to believe in an overarching plan that supports each of us that wants to settle into that plan and helps us to understand that there is help, that there is, that this isn't the end, this isn't the all that there is, that peace that we look for, that peace that we want, that peace that we all want to have, that peace and joy on earth, even if everybody wants peace, everybody wants joy, everybody wants enough. We go at it in sometimes diabolically opposed ways, but we all want joy, we all want to belong, we all want to fit, we all want to have enough, we want to be enough. And my definition of how to get that might be completely different from the definition of somebody else, but our hearts are the same. Those people that are looking for power, ultimate power, why do they want that? Because they want to feel like they're enough. And there's some emptiness in there that says I have to fill it up with power, with with world power, with world domination. Where did those choices come from? That's the part I want to understand. So that I don't get caught up into that same river. Because every one of us could get caught up into that same river. Every one of us. We all have all possibility in us. What we focus on is what we manifest. And so in this fear, I'm choosing to focus on love. I'm choosing to focus on God and my Savior Jesus Christ. And that infinite atonement, this is my broadcast, I'll tell you how I feel. That infinite atonement that takes care of all this, that has complete and perfect understanding of all of the actions, all the precipitating things that created all the states that we are in now in our world, and we ever have been and ever will be. Complete and perfect understanding of that. Complete justice and mercy for them and for me. And in that space, I can find safety. In that space, that there is in my mind, in my belief system, an all-powerful God who knows and understands all this. No, didn't create it. This is not his creation. But knows and understands why his children have. Each one of them. And where each of us sit in that pendulum and on the continuum. The desires of our heart. What do we want? What do we need? What did we not get? This life experience is a pivotal one for our eternal existence. We get to have a lot of experiences here based in perceptions and hunting and seeking for truth, and a whole cloud over our mind about what happened before and what's going to happen later. And we're walking in a fog, doing the very best we can with what we know. And if I hold that aspect in my mind, just as I thought about that and thought about all of the unrest in the world, and think we're all every one of us doing the very best we can with what we know. Even those with an agenda of global domination, they're doing the very best they can with what they know. We're each going to be held accountable for our choices, but that accountability is also going to be tempered with a complete understanding of what our capacities are. Our capacities for love and our capacities for the acquiring of wisdom, especially our capacity for love and our desire for love. That's the pivotal, that's the leavening. And so as we think about our inner child and what we're afraid of, and being there for our inner child, to be there for our inner child, for me, that means that I access the power of God. It means I access the power of the universe so that I have enough to care for my inner child. Enough to say, when this inner child in me is terrified, to say, I am hooking my wagon to the infinite power of unconditional love of God and Jesus Christ and the universe that they created. Whatever vocabulary you need to use. That is how I am there for my inner child. And some of the experiences here might be pretty scary. And as we receive them and breathe into them, that's where the safety comes, that magic carpet of unconditional love of God and my Savior Jesus Christ, the universe, the power, whatever you need to call it, your own inner knowing. If you don't have my belief, the belief in something bigger, maybe even if it is your own inner knowing that accesses wisdom from the universe. That's where my safety lies. And if you need safety and that resonates with you, I hope that this gives you the idea and the strength to access your higher power and feel into that safety as well and take care of our little children inside us. Namaste. I love you.